Hey guys, it's Autumn here and welcome back to another video. Today we are doing a piece for Mermay because I did definitely want to jump in on this and at least get one mermaid piece out to you guys this month. And I apologize for not having videos go up last week. I had something planned, that plan fell through, and so in order to ensure that there was a video up this week, there might actually be two up this week. So you'll get your regularly scheduled programming today, and then you will probably get a video either Friday or Saturday, depending on how things pan out for the other video that I'm working on. This is one that's been in the works for a while, and I've been hoping to get it out much sooner than it has been able to. So fingers crossed that I can actually get this video that I've been working on finished and ready for you guys. So moving on from that, the piece that I'm working on today is a mermaid, and sticking in line with the Dungeons & Dragons theme that I've apparently gotten myself stuck on, we are drawing a spell, sort of. I wanted to go with a similar design to the 500 drawing prompts video that I did, where it's a wizard of some sort, and this wizard is casting the spell Alter Self. It is a 4th level, what is it? I believe it's Abjuration. Possibly. I should probably double check that. But it's a 4th level spell used to alter your appearance so you can change the way you look into a different person, a different race. You can change your voice, your height, your weight. It's like the big brother to disguise self, which is really cool. And it's like the smaller version of polymorph, so you don't waste a like 6th level spell slot to polymorph yourself into someone. So it's a really fancy spell, and I decided that I wanted to do it, like, this would be obviously a flavor way of doing this, but another application of the spell is to give yourself natural advantages, so like fangs, claws, spikes, whatever you want it to be a little bit more terrifying. Or you can do the aquatic ones, which give you gills, webbing between your fingers, and it removes the disadvantage of only being able to move half your movement speed, so you can move your full movement speed. So it's fancy. It's like the Mariner armor that Critical Role, their group of people, have. I think Ford still is wearing that, but it's like the Mariner armor, so you can move full speed underwater. But instead, this is like the spellcaster equivalent of it. So normally this flavor would be like, it gives you webbing between your fingers and your toes so you can swim underwater better, gives you gills, and that's kind of it. When I realized that you could do that, I decided that it would be kind of interesting to be like, okay, so this wizard has sort of an affinity for water. They're pretty good with their magic, and in a panic, they cast Alter Self, and instead of just getting the webbing and the gills, they accidentally give themselves a full-on mermaid tail, and they are stuck as a mermaid for an hour, which I think is kind of amusing and is sort of an interesting take on it, in my opinion. I actually want to try this now with my wizard and see if I could talk my DM into it, but questionable. It is a questionable thing to attempt to talk a DM into. But I thought it was cool, and you may not agree, maybe like, okay, that's cool or whatever, but you could also just take it as a person who didn't know they were a mermaid getting in the water and then slowly transforming into a mermaid and being a little bit terrified by it. But yeah, I really wanted to make this as flowy and underwater seeming as possible, because at first it wasn't going to be a traditional piece, it was going to be a digital speed paint. But I didn't like the way that came out, so I decided to do it traditionally. And so I gave the cloak lots of flowiness. I wanted her hair to kind of be fluffy, although I suppose they're just kind of a they, because there's not any super defining qualities that make it a male or a female, other than it's a mermaid, but it could be a merman, so I don't know. But this elven person that I am drawing jumped in the water and found out they're a mermaid. So instead of like being a lycanthrope and becoming a freaking werewolf on a full moon or something, they get in the water with their party and turn into a mermaid. So kind of an interesting idea. So like, I don't know if any of you have read the Emily Windsnap series, which is about a mermaid. I read it when I was younger. It's something similar to that. You get in the water. If you're in the water long enough, you become a mermaid, sort of dealio. So, but beyond that, this is all done in Copic markers and fine liners, just normal Sakura micron fine liners. And this is the part I had the hardest time with that I'm starting right now, the freaking end of the tail, because I couldn't figure out how I wanted to style it, because I loved how soft and round the fin was, but I also didn't really go in with a whole lot of detail on it, and if I had, it could have been better. There's a couple ways I could have gone about it to make it look prettier, but I didn't. So I tried pink originally, didn't like that combination, didn't match any of the colors, then purple, purple didn't match, and then I go in with a darker blue. Also, it doesn't look terrible. It just didn't look the way I wanted it to. And then eventually I give up on it for a little while and I go and I start working on the background and shading and things of that nature. And eventually I go back to it and I go, oh, I know what I can do. And I just cover it in one color of blue. At this point, the footage, for some reason, the blues tend to blend together. In the final image, it doesn't as much. It looks like 3 separate hues of blue. So there's that. But I put so much effort into this tail, and looking at it close up, it still doesn't look pretty. But I think it definitely came out better than it could have, because it could have gone a lot worse very quickly. So there's that. The background, I also went in with a Copic marker. It was probably the most relaxing part of this, was just going in with single brush strokes and not really worrying about the texture, because it's water. It can look flowy all it wants. So that was probably the most relaxing part of this entire process. Except maybe the gel pens, because going in with sparkly gel pens is fantastic. So a couple of little things to point out in the image. Her one eye is yellow instead of the like natural blue. I wanted to do that to show that she is transforming more so into like an underwater creature, and just part of that has happened. Like her tail isn't even fully like formed yet to a degree. It's like slowly working its way up. So the one eye is still blue and the other eye is yellow, just to show that transformation process. I thought it was a kind of a neat way of doing it. I did that with a Lucifer painting, or a Lucifer piece, a while back. I gave him one devil eye and then just one normal eye to be like, ooh, see, he's the devil, ooh, creepy. Although that could have been better planned out, and I'd like to go back and revisit my Lucifer piece at some point. Given that the 4th season came out, I'd like to do one of him or maybe one of Chloe, so that will probably happen soon. The other thing is, like I said, the tail isn't fully finished. There's a couple scales that are like poking up through her pant leg, and the rest of them are kind of coming up and consuming up her legs and to her waist. And I thought that was a neat way of doing that, because usually mermaids are like, okay, there you go, you're a mermaid now, woo. But I wanted it to be like because it's magic, the magic's slowly creeping its way up and turning her into a mermaid. So I ended up doing that. And then I go in with gel pen and I highlight a couple of the scales, I highlight her hand and certain areas around her tail to be like, see, it's magic, it's not just like it happens. So I did that as well, and I highlighted the gills on her neck with a gold gel pen as well, but I'm not sure that necessarily went over quite as well as I was hoping. And then the detailing on her tail, once I fix it, is all in silver gel pen as well. Just to kind of give it some definition, but it's still not my best piece of work when it comes to the tail. So, I also put in a little bubbles here in the background. They're not anything beautiful or anything to really talk about, but they're there just to fill up some space. And yeah, that's all I really have to say about this piece. It was a lot of fun to work on. It took me a little bit longer than it normally does, just because of the level of detail and the level of, okay, I have to fix this now, yay, that I was kind of going through on this piece. So I will let you guys enjoy the rest of the music, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, everyone!
Hey guys, if you like this video, be sure to check out another one over there, and if you want to see the full playlist for this series, check out over here. Thank you for watching, and subscribe if you like, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye everyone!